welcome all families and friends of the graduates of the Lesley University classes of 2022, 2021, and 2020. I would like to begin with a tribal land acknowledgement. We are grateful to Claudia Fox Tree, a member of the Yuka Yiki Guainia Taino tribe, and a doctoral student in our Graduate School of Education for helping us write it. We acknowledge that the land we occupy on our campus in Cambridge and today in Boston has been cared for by the indigenous people since time immemorial. Explorers and colonizers came here and stayed without treating the people they met as equals or as rightful stewards of this land, taking their land, their lives, and their resources. We are gathered on the traditional homelands of the Massachusetts nation. We also acknowledge their neighbors and relatives, the Nipmuc and Wampanoag peoples. We humbly recognize the sacrifices that this country's indigenous communities were forced to make in order for us to be here to hold this ceremony. We honor these connections to these lands, their connections to these lands, and are grateful for the legacy they left us. Ceremonial and sacred places in nature, ancestral burial grounds on this land, and language through the place, names, and words now integrated into English. Thank you. Please note the following changes in this morning's program, as several of our planned speakers are unfortunately unable to join us today. Substituting for interim Graduate School of Education Dean Amy Rutstein Riley is Interim Associate Dean Stephanie Spadorcia. Substituting for Graduate School of Arts and Social Sciences student speaker Kavana West is Tosh Shabbat Al-Sagaf. Substituting for Graduate School of Education student speaker Catrice Tucker is Dr. Jennifer Etis Herring. Finally, alumna trustee Linda Lee Sheridan will deliver the greetings from the Alumni Association in the place of Zalika Winitzer. Leading the procession is Angela Crawford Irving, a member of the Staff Representative Advisory Council, which represents all staff who make a positive difference in the lives of our students and the quality of their education. Angela is followed by the faculty of Lesley University's Graduate School of Arts and Social Sciences, who will be entering on the right, and the faculty of the Graduate School of Education, who will be entering on the left. The faculty will line the aisles for the faculty salute to honor the classes of 2022, 2021, and 2020. Would you please stand for the commencement procession? Please welcome Lesley University's graduates of the Graduate School of Arts and Social Sciences and the Graduate School of Education. Please welcome the stage party, including the Chief Marshal, the school deans, faculty leadership and university administrators, the University Board of Trustees, the honorary degree recipient, and the university president.
Good morning. The 2022 Lesley University Commencement for graduates from the Graduate School of Arts and Social Sciences and the Graduate School of Education is called to order. Please be seated. It is my privilege to introduce the chair of the Lesley University Board of Trustees, Hans D. Strauch.
I feel excitement is in the air. What a great day! It is my pleasure to welcome you, the Lesley University classes of 2022, 21, and 20, your families and friends, honoraries and dignitaries, and the faculty, administration, and staff. What a joy it is to be here together, to gather in person after 2 years of not being able to come here. What a wonderful day it is. I am so excited to see everyone here today. As students graduating from the Graduate School of Arts and Social Sciences and the Graduate School of Education, many of you have pursued your Lesley degrees while balancing work and family obligations. You are professionals in your fields of human services, the arts, and education, and you are lifelong learners, and you know the importance of and the power of education. On behalf of the Lesley University Board of Trustees, I extend to you all congratulations on your academic achievements and best wishes for the next chapter in your life's journey. The world needs you more now than ever. It is now my privilege to introduce the president of Lesley University, Janet Steinmeier. President Steinmeier is presiding over her third Lesley Commencement, but this is the first one we've been able to hold in person since she became president. I'd like to take a moment to recognize her strong leadership during a time of unprecedented challenges, and also thank Janet for her prior years of service as a Lesley trustee. Welcome to the podium, Janet Steinmeier.
Good morning. And thank you, Hans, for your almost 18 years of service to Lesley University. On behalf of Hans and the entire Board of Trustees, I welcome you all to this year's commencement ceremony and extend a jubilant congratulations to our multi-talented graduates. To their proud family and friends, to our dedicated faculty and staff, and to our distinguished honorary degree recipient, Gita Pradam. This morning, we celebrate students earning doctoral and master's degrees and certificates of advanced study from our Graduate School of Education and our Graduate School of Arts and Social Sciences. To the class of 2022, what a day of celebration for all you have achieved in these momentous times. And to the alumni from the classes of 2020 and 2021, who've returned to cross the stage at commencement for the very first, it's wonderful to have you back so we can celebrate your achievements in person. Class of 2022, I hope that sharing the spotlight with members from the 2 other classes from the 2020s more than triples the pride and the warmth you'll feel as you cross the stage today. So as we begin the ceremony today, let us pause to remember the loved ones that the pandemic has taken from us, family members and friends who might otherwise be here today, as well as the victims of wars and violent hate crimes, most recently the mass shooting in Buffalo. There is no doubt that at school graduations and commencements across the globe, speakers will observe that we are living through extraordinary times. The shockwaves keep coming, and the demands on us to adapt and be flexible and resilient keep mounting. To survive and thrive under such conditions, we must collaborate with even greater compassion, courage, and creativity. We must redouble our efforts to collaborate across differences of culture and perspective. And we must expand and deepen the ways we connect with each other as individual humans living in community. And above all, we must restore and embrace our most human connections. Fostering these human connections, preparing our students to be practitioners in these arts, is what sets Lesley apart. The depth and the breadth of these connections flavors that Lesley experience. In fact, Lesley's secret sauce is blended in the myriad ways that you've learned to collaborate across disciplines and differences to produce a richer and more satisfying repast. Whether your studies focused on education, psychology, counseling, creative writing, mindfulness, expressive therapies, or some combination of these, you've learned the value of making and strengthening human connections, and you're ready to share this bountiful feast with your community. With national shortages of teachers and mental health counselors and social workers, and with our collective yearning for the expressive and healing powers of the arts, a Lesley education has never been more in demand or more satisfying to share. You are the first responders to our most fundamental human needs, the need to be inspired by wise and caring teachers, the need to be supported by skilled and empathic counselors, the need to be moved and uplifted by creative expression. The future of our communities depends more than ever on these skills and perspectives that you've developed during your time at Lesley. Our bruised and imperfect world is hungry for what you can and will bring to the table. But we know that the essential work you each will do to feed your community is likely to be draining and to leave you hungry too. Practitioners in the critically needed and demanding fields that you're entering will need a lifetime of learning and development and regular opportunities for renewal and new sources for inspiration. Fortunately, opportunities to continue your education and deepen your connection to Lesley will not end once you cross the stage today. As Linda Lee Sheridan, our Alumni Association trustee to the Board of Trustees, will soon note for you, the value of your Lesley education will continue to grow as you make connections and discover inspiration from our over 90,000 talented alumni. Our focused commitment to growing community partnerships, like the one we're launching with Riverside Community Care, to open a behavioral health center right on our Doble campus, will create reciprocal links between alumni and employees and university and employers, and enable our students and alumni to forge lasting and lifelong connections. Partnerships will provide students with accessible pathways to meaningful careers while helping employers train and recruit skilled and caring professionals that their communities need, and create new avenues for research to share with future Lesley students. Whether you stay in one field or change occupations, as many of you will do over your working lives, we will build the programs not only to launch you in those careers, but to create a banquet that will sustain you through your entire professional arc. By now, you will have noticed the culinary language that's sprinkled through these remarks, so I will end with a brief note about 5 chefs who were honored in 2014 with a United States stamp series: Joyce Chen, Julia Child, Edna Lewis, James Beard, and Felipe Rojas Lombardi. Each of them is now credited with revolutionizing American cuisine through their championship of using fresh, seasonal ingredients at a time when many people wanted to spend less time in the kitchen and were enthralled with the modern convenience of the compartmentalized, frozen TV dinner. Joyce Chen, a fellow Cantabrigian, she was from Cambridge. She was famous for popularizing authentic Chinese cuisine. Julia Child, also from Cambridge, for bringing French cooking to the American kitchen. Edna Lewis as the grande dame of Southern cooking. James Beard, the Dean of American Cuisine, based on his champion of American ingredients. And Felipe Rojas Lombardi, a founder of the groundbreaking gourmet store Dean and DeLuca, for masterminding South American cooking and bringing tapas to America. Yet each of them overcame fiercely set cultural barriers to achieve what they did. Joyce Chen as an emigre from communist China and a single mother. Julia Child as an unlikely female TV star based on her mature age and her unusual height. Edna Lewis as the daughter of emancipated slaves and the first African American to use her own name, race, and gender in publishing a cookbook. And James Beard and Felipe Rojas Lombardi for being gay at a time where, for instance, it was told that a reason for Beard to be expelled from Reed College was that he was gay. But they succeeded, each of them, because they persisted, just like the Lesley motto, parissum ni perstitissim. I would have perished had I not persisted. There's a poignant moment in a recent HBO series about Julia Child when her husband sums up what was making her TV show, The French Chef, an unlikely hit. He says, "You are teaching them how to taste life, and they are listening." So as you close this chapter of your Lesley experience, these are my wishes for you. I wish that you've learned from our wonderful faculty, staff, and community to taste life, and that you will savor life, that you will savor this moment in all of its complex flavors. I wish that you will use your knowledge and zest for life to enhance and improve the lives of others. I wish that you will persist, as these chefs did, to bring your vision to life. And I wish that you will make every day count. As one of the speakers in this year's Thought Leadership Series, author and artist Aqua Holmes said, quoting a character of one of her books, "Don't wait to have a great day. Create one." I think that we can all agree that today is a great day for the Lesley community. And I hope that we will each commit to making tomorrow a great day too, in whatever way we can, for as many people as we can. Congratulations again to the classes of 2022, 2021, and 2020. And now I invite our board chair, Hans Strock, back to the podium, along with our provost and chief academic officer, Dr. Jonathan K. Jefferson, for the presentation of the honorary degree.
Honorary degrees are awarded to individuals who have achieved distinction in their chosen fields and professions. By their example, honorary degree recipients make tangible a set of values we aspire to as an academic community. These individuals are models to us because of their intellectual engagement, professional achievement, and civic commitment. We are honored today to award an honorary degree to civic leader and president of the Cambridge Community Foundation, Geeta Pradhan.
The Lesley University Board of Trustees has authorized the awarding of this Honorary Doctor of Humane Letters degree to Geeta Pradhan in recognition of the outstanding contributions and achievements that have brought this individual to this assembly today.
Will Geeta Pradhan, the honorary degree recipient, and her faculty escort please come forward?
Geeta Pradhan, President of the Cambridge Community Foundation, innovator in philanthropy, urban planning, and economic development. You, Geeta Pradhan, are a civic leader who has championed countless nonprofit initiatives that have strengthened our communities in and around Boston. With your remarkable vision and dedication to supporting shared prosperity, social equity, and cultural richness through grant-making, civic leadership, and philanthropic partnerships, your work unites us in community. Your extraordinary leadership in your field has imparted notable social impact and change. In recognition of your change-making leadership and dedication to growing the nonprofit ecosystem at each turn, the trustees of Lesley University are honored and pleased to confer upon you, Geeta Pradhan, the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters. The hood and the diploma with which you have been invested are the visible symbols of your membership in this Society of Scholars. Presented in Boston, Massachusetts on the 21st day of May in the year 2022, thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, President Steinmeier, Board of Trustees, honorable faculty for this amazing honor. I am truly humbled. Thank you all. Thank you. I want to take this moment to remember 3 people who helped me become who I am today: my parents and my dear husband. I hope you're watching from up there. Welcome, family and friends, to this glorious day. And congratulations, graduates of 2022, 2021, and 2020. The day has finally arrived, and it is your day. Being here to celebrate you is a great honor for someone like me. I've spent most of my life just doing things that need to get done, attempting to create possibility and joy, working for equity and justice for everyday people in cities, and pushing that rock of hope up a slope that sometimes feels really impossible to maneuver. I don't have grandiose stories to inspire you with, but I know that I love my work. I love my community. I feel good when I've made a difference in someone's life. And I cannot bear to see human dignity crushed. These are ordinary feelings that we all have, and they hold the kernels of our passion and our values. As I look at what Lesley stands for and what you as graduates of Lesley have chosen as a path for yourselves, I am truly grateful for this unique opportunity to share what shaped my dreams, inspired my journey, and honed me for who I am today. I grew up in a middle-class household in India and was the youngest of 4 children. I always had a very active imagination. And when we were little, my sisters, my brother, and I got a quarter each Friday for pocket money. While the others spent theirs on fun and candy, I planted my quarter in the ground. Yes, I literally planted it, I watered it, imagining that a money tree would grow and blossom, and with that, I would do all kinds of things. Well, winter came, I forgot about it, years passed, and the memory faded. A few years ago, my family was sitting together recounting stories of our childhood, and I mentioned the money tree. My brother and sister looked at each other and burst out laughing. First, I thought they were laughing at my naivete, but I soon realized that the two of them had conspired against me. You see, the moment I buried my quarter in the ground, they would go dig it up and split it between the two of them. So you must be wondering, what does this naive and gullible story have to do with us? Well, to me, this story speaks about the power of imagined possibilities, the hope that I carried that when my money tree grew, I could do all kinds of things with it. And in a strange twist of fate today, I am literally planting money in our community, seeding ideas, launching social innovations, investing in programs, fostering the dreams of our city's youth, of parents who wish to see their futures changed, of teachers and of nonprofits. I truly believe that my quarters turned into money trees. It just took a lot longer than I expected. All possibilities grow out of dreams. The possibility of a dream coming true is what makes life interesting. So I would suggest, look back at your dreams, the ones you had when you were younger, and see if you can find a thread that connects you with who you are today or who you aspire to be. Dreams are powerful. They fuel our imagination, and imagination drives innovation. They help us see solutions where others see problems. I personally find inspiration in the dreams of others. A great joy of my job is to see the dreams of other people come to life. Here are 2 simple but very powerful ideas that I found moving and that made me feel connected with the world. I love this one. 3 friends, Lonell Wells, Jesse Castillo, and Sean West, were deeply affected by the murder of George Floyd. Feeling helpless, they wanted to move beyond protest and do something to heal their community. They were good with their hands, and working with what they had, they did what was in their power. So they started refurbishing bikes, donated bikes, and giving them away for free to the kid who doesn't have a bike to ride with her friends, the ex-con who got a job but doesn't have the money for transportation. That simple idea has become Cambridge Bike Give Back. Such a small gesture, a free bike, can spread joy or improve someone's chances in life. The other is a story that not only touched my heart, but also that of many people in Cambridge. Imagine being a 10-year-old and being upset by the bullying and trauma you see around you during the pandemic. Young Aviana proposed a simple idea to her school: to give kids a safe place to share their stories and have fun. Her program, Heart Junior, uses peer-led circles to deal with social-emotional healing. Now, where does a 10-year-old find that kind of compassion and imagination? I have heard Aviana speak about her passion, and I feel that if a 10-year-old can do this, so can all of us. These stories about ordinary people doing extraordinary things share three things: passion, compassion, and grit. And I would guess those are qualities that you all are clearly familiar with. I don't know of a better institution than Lesley University to produce a class of graduates prepared to take on the world's challenges. Whether you're pursuing a life in education, arts, or counseling, you've already raised your hands to help strengthen our social fabric. And you've pursued your journeys through the toughest of circumstances amidst a global pandemic and the most divisive times that you will likely see in your lives. The fact that you are here today, poised to step up, gives me great faith in our future, for our communities and for the world. I've learned that optimism is a powerful force in tough times, we need optimism to flourish. This is your time, and I hope that you will find that optimism as you take on your next steps. Your education at Lesley has prepared you for a path towards a kinder, gentler world. Those attributes define both the university and you as professionals, as thinkers, future leaders, educators, healers, and change makers. Yes, science and technology have changed the world. We have found cure for deadly viruses, and we are better connected. But greed and unfettered development without values and without imagination for the good of humanity have also given way to a world ravaged by the fury of climate change, of stunning income inequalities, of racial and economic injustices, of prejudice, of war and strife in Ukraine, Syria, Afghanistan, and even my beloved little hometown, the beautiful valley of Kashmir at the foothills of the Himalayas. There are big, intractable problems all around us: failing school systems, a mental health crisis, persistent poverty, even in a city as great as Cambridge. But where there are problems, there are people such as you, driven by a passion and dreams to make life better. That's what we do at the Cambridge Community Foundation, a foundation of and for all of Cambridge. Yes, we have the money to make grants, but our true power comes from the deep partnerships and networks in the community with universities like Lesley, with inspired nonprofits, with everyday people who use their lived experiences to find and guide solutions to social problems. I say, find those people making a difference and make them your partners. Bind them together with the values that you care most deeply about. I first came to my values through a man I saw every morning on my way to school when I was a child in Kashmir. This man made his living doing work that none of us could ever imagine doing. Day after day, he collected human waste in large pots and carried it on his head to the dump. We called him Jamadar Sahab, loosely translated as servant sir. Yes, I know, it's an odd combination of terms, calling someone servant and sir in the same breath. His poverty showed through his tattered clothes, but Jamadar Sahab rose above the menial, demeaning work. His work did not define him, nor did his wretched poverty. He carried himself with dignity and grace, as though forcing you to contend with his humanness. I saw the way he treated people, with kindness, compassion, and respect. His humanity stripped away the differences, forcing others to recognize the dignity that inherently defines us as human beings. Jamadar Sahab left an indelible impression on me. More than 50 years later, the memory of his kind, brown, gentle eyes and the respect he commanded still guide me. What I learned from him pushes me, challenges me. It is my guiding light. He taught me the importance of dignity, the intrinsic individual human value in which are embedded principles of respect, justice, integrity, authenticity. If you believe in human dignity, these important concepts will surely follow. He taught me empathy, the ability to shift my perspective from an observer to one experiencing the situation. Getting into his shoes to understand that the lack of money or his demeaning profession did not define him. The empathy I gained from that experience forever changed the way I look at poverty, as well as the power of wealth versus the power of goodness. Now, life is full of magic and surprises, and one never knows where and from whom the inspiration can come. So look for your North Star. And as you take that next big step, I want to leave you with a question. What is the dream, the personal legend you wish for yourselves? How will your education feed the passion that brought you to Lesley to create a more just, a more humane world? What will it take? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Pradhan, for those wonderful words, and congratulations. Will Sandra Walker, Interim Dean of the Graduate School of Arts and Social Sciences, please approach the podium?
On behalf of the faculty and staff of the Graduate School of Arts and Social Sciences, I extend my warm congratulations to you, our graduates. We are so proud of all of you, each of you with your unique calling, whether as a writer, clinician, counselor, artist, advocate, researcher, scholar, or educator. As you embark upon your career as determined, ingenious, scholarly practitioners, we have full confidence in your capacity as compassionate change agents and as leaders in your chosen fields. I also want to say thank you to those who have supported you on this journey, your family, friends, and loved ones, those who stood by you on the journey and who are here to celebrate with you today. Thank you. COVID is still with us, but we are moving forward. Putting one foot in front of the other, your amazing resilience to finish have put you in this place at this time. Your efforts did not go unnoticed. We see you, all of you. Some of you have suffered personal and professional losses while working through your programs, yet you made it here today. For some, other issues have risen, be they financial, medical, or otherwise, but that did not stop you. Many of you did not know how you would finish your program with all that was happening in your own lives due to the pandemic. You worked out creative solutions to move forward and complete your goals. You found answers, you pivoted, and look where it led you. Here, you are here today in cap and gown to be celebrated. Graduates, today is your commencement day, a day of celebration and a day of new beginnings. I wish you a life of continued exploration and joy in your chosen fields. Thank you. And now, I am pleased to welcome Tosh Cabot Asselgoff, who is filling in for this year's graduate speaker from the Graduate School of Arts and Social Sciences, Cavana West. Kev is unable to be with us today due to illness. Although they are not here today, I still want to introduce them before Tush reads their speech. Kev is a multimedia artist and dance movement therapist who currently resides in Nashville, Tennessee. Their developing body of work explores the use of movement as a form of treatment for individuals living with chronic pain and the incorporation of African spirituality as a means for culturally responsive care. They are a staunch advocate and a member of their cohort and community, engaging in this work within the landscape of a mental health pandemic following the multi-layered events of 2020. Please join me in welcoming Tush to the stand.
Good morning, y'all. I am reading this speech on behalf of our adored peer, Kev West. They are a Black, disabled, Southern queer of multicultural lineage, and I will do my best to relay their message. Before we begin, I would like to invite you to spend a moment with your breath. There's no need to change anything, just be curious. What is the pace of your overall breath? Is it rapid and shallow, or deep and sustained? Again, there is no need to make any adjustments. Just notice. I'm curious about where your breath lives. Can you feel it deep in the pit of your belly? Or perhaps it's concentrated just beneath your ribcage. Maybe, with all of today's excitement, you find that your breath has taken up residence in the area around your shoulders. Finally, I invite you to give yourself a pat on the back. Congratulations, class of 2022. We made it. Those of us who arrive at Lesley do so to answer a calling. It is my deeply held belief that this cohort specifically was called to address the aftermath of an ongoing pandemic and global civil unrest. We were forged in the fire, but we did not buckle. We were creative and resilient. We were among the many professionals to develop new approaches in response to widespread hardship and isolation. And it was through our commitment to education that we earned our stripes well before graduation. We are a class of risk takers and change makers, and I believe that we have inherited the task of dismantling the systems that have led us to our current crisis. It has been an honor to complete this program alongside brilliant minds. And there is one peer in particular whose wisdom played an invaluable role in my transformation. Being in community with Rodney Simpson taught me to have little faith in my own discomfort. I remember countless instances throughout this program when an encounter or an experience just didn't sit right with me. I would be sitting there thinking, is it me? Am I being too sensitive? Do I even belong here? But before I could even finish my internal interrogation, Rodney had already named the transgression, explained how it was harmful, and had actively demanded action and justice. Existing within marginalized communities is often one of continuous invalidation. And with invalidation often comes pervasive self-doubt. The implications and potential impact of Rodney's natural ability to swiftly respond to acts of injustice are astounding. In my own pursuit of liberation, I tend to be a bit sneaky, and I like to play the long game. But Rodney showed me how to fight with fire, and it was through witnessing his boldness and tenacity that I learned that there often isn't time for subtleties in red tape. That in times of urgency, one must be relentless in their fight for justice and equity. As we step into our new roles as professionals, I offer you a quote from Audre Lorde's 1984 speech. "The master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. They may allow us to temporarily beat him at his own game, but they will never enable us to bring about genuine change." And with that, I invite you to lay down the master's tools and harness that forging fire from which we emerged, because we have work to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Tosh. Wonderful words. Dean Amy Rustin Riley wanted so bad to be here today, to wish you well and to congratulate you. Unfortunately, she is ill and could not be here today. However, I would like to call forth Dr. Stephanie Spadosha, Interim Associate Dean of the Graduate School of Education. Please approach the podium.
Good morning. It is my pleasure to deliver these words from Amy Rutstein Riley, who's watching virtually. I'm honored to welcome you to the first in-person commencement in 3 years. How wonderful it is to see so many of you, your faculty, and of course your loved ones as we celebrate the graduates of 2020, 21, and 2022. This is truly a unique day, as for many of you and me, it might be the first time during your graduate experience we've met face to face and not just in a little Zoom square. During this historic pandemic experience, you have overcome the many large and small barriers that COVID presented. You attended classes and completed assignments remotely, while also juggling caregiving demands and professional responsibilities. You truly have persevered and persisted, reaching a major milestone despite these challenges, building the internal resources that will prepare you well for your next adventure. It makes today even sweeter as we celebrate your academic achievements together in this beautiful spot by Boston Harbor. Having risen to the many challenges that got you here today, you are now ready to begin your next step with a new set of opportunities, challenges, and goals. You may be teaching in a new school or your own classroom for the first time, transitioning to a specialist role, or taking leadership roles that will test your convictions and your powers of persuasion. You may be working with youth and families in community settings or contributing new knowledge to the theory and practice of education, thus transforming lives in new and different ways. I ask and hope for each of you that regardless of the next step or challenge you take on, that you draw upon the transformational values and practices you studied while a student at Lesley. Harness these resources as you strive to make the world a more just and equitable place. Contributing your voice, knowledge, and experience to the field of education today could not be more urgent. The disruption of schooling as we know it has impacted educators, students, families who now need healing, a sense of belonging, and re-engagement. Together, we can transform our systems, not going back to normal, but generating more equitable, inclusive, and student-centered learning environments. We can revision the future of schooling and create a movement towards liberation education. Your Lesley faculty and our learning community has equipped you to effect transformational change, joining the thousands of Graduate School of Education alumni making a difference in the U.S. and around the world. May you put all your talents and skills to good use for great causes. You'll know them when you see them. Congratulations. Let's have a round of applause for the classes of 20, 21, and 22. Now it is with great pleasure that I present Jennifer Ites Herring, who will be reading the words of our 2022 graduate student speaker, Catrice Tucker, who unfortunately cannot be with us here today, but she is watching virtually, so I'm sending love. Catrice is a graduate of our early childhood program and completed her student teaching at the Capuano School in Somerville. She is currently working as a long-term substitute kindergarten teacher and hopes to work as a permanent kindergarten teacher in the fall. We congratulate you, Catrice, and wish you well, and thank Jennifer for reading your words today.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to be here today to support my colleague, Catrice. But before I begin, I would like to take advantage of this opportunity to thank my friends and family who've supported me through my studies. Particularly, I'd like to thank my husband, Gerard, my daughter, Claudia, my son, Caleb, my brother and sister, Jonathan and Jasmine, and my mom, Claudette. Take 10 seconds, please, to give them a thunderous applause of thanks for me. Good morning, graduates. I'm honored to be able to speak at commencement today. What my journey has been difficult, but I'm happy we're able to get here. We have persevered through some challenging times, and many of us may have been ready to give up. Nonetheless, we are here. We made it, and I believe if we made it here during a global pandemic, we can make it through anything. As you move into your next adventure, try not to waste time worrying too much about the future, and spend time in the moment. As a teacher in the classroom, this may be difficult, but we must be intentional about our experiences and in the time we have with our students. Enjoy the little moments, because before you know it, your students are going to the next grade, and they will be new students budding and entering into new classrooms. Take your time to build relationships with families and invite them into your classroom to share important family traditions. This will build an important partnership between you, your next students, and their families, one that will be beneficial to all. So, as you go into the world to embark on your journey, the most important message I want to leave with you today is to be impactful. I used to think that in order to be impactful, you would have to hold a certain position. During my time as a student teacher in a pre-K classroom, a student named Lila would often ask to hold my hand on the way outside to recess. As the other students ran off ahead onto the playground, Lila and I would walk slowly behind and would tell me about her family. She would tell me about her family and what they were doing after school. On my last day in class, Lila came up to me and said, "Thank you for holding my hand so much, Mrs. Tucker. It helped me when I was feeling a little sad." That day, I felt a sense of gratitude and joy. I helped a student feel comfortable and cared for. As educators, we don't always get the time to spend one-on-one with students. However, I was glad I was able to support that student in the moments she needed it. So, as I left my student teaching experience, I was showered with so much love and appreciation from the young children and their families. I realized that I had made an impact on them even during their short time in my classroom. So leave your mark, graduates. Lastly, be proud of yourselves. This accomplishment is well-deserved. Congratulations, classes of 20, 21, and 22. Thank you.
Now it is my pleasure to introduce Alumni Trustee Linda Lee Sheridan, who's standing in for Alumni Association President Zalika Winitzer. We miss you here and we send you all our best. Linda Lee is a graduate of both our College of Liberal Arts and Sciences and our Graduate School of Education. She has served as a Lesley Corporator and is a past president of the Alumni Association. She has been a trustee since 2019, and Linda Lee, we welcome you warmly.
Thank you, President Steinmeier. Yes, I am Linda Lee Sheridan, Alumni Trustee and former Alumni Council President. And today I want to congratulate you on your graduation. Zalika Winitzer, the current Alumni Council President, wishes she could be here, but she is at home under the weather. And some of these words I am sharing today are hers. I would also like to recognize the classes of 2020 and 21 who graduated without an in-person commencement. An enormous congratulations to you as well. You all have successfully completed your degrees during a global pandemic when so many lives were disrupted. Yet you have persevered. Congratulations on your accomplishments. Today you join over 90,000 others who have graduated from Lesley. Members of the Alumni Association represent a vast network of leaders, artists, teachers, and innovators who make a positive impact on local, national, and global level. This is your moment. As you graduate, you are taking your Lesley education out into the world to improve lives through a powerful combination of knowledge, skill, innovative thinking, and passion. My Lesley education has allowed me to serve thousands of students and families in the Boston Public Schools as a special education teacher and principal over the last 40 years. But the leadership skills that I learned at Lesley and honed through my work with the Alumni Council have helped me serve in my community too. Knowing the value of a Lesley education, I am fully confident in each of you to make a positive impact on the world. I invite you to shape Lesley's future as an alum too, whether you join me on the Alumni Council, serve on Alumni Council Committee, become a mentor to prospective students, seek guidance from the Career Resource Center, provide connections and guidance to future alums, or attend guest lectures or other events. Please keep in touch with your Lesley family and support the development and success of future Lesley students. I sincerely hope that as you now embark on your journey of lifelong learning, that you will look to Lesley University to meet those needs. Congratulations. We look forward to staying in touch and hearing about where your Lesley education takes you. Welcome to the Alumni Association. Thank you.
Please don't despair. We only have 15 more speakers to go. The time has come for what you all have come here for. We will now recognize the candidates for doctoral degrees from the Graduate School of Arts and Social Sciences. Please note that we will not be offering handshakes this year as a health and safety precaution. Will Interim Dean Sandra Walker please approach the podium to present doctoral candidates for their degrees from the Graduate School of Arts and Social Sciences.
Chair Strauss, President Steinmeier, I have the honor to present to you these candidates for the degrees from the Graduate School of Arts and Social Sciences. We first present diplomas to the PhD candidates to recognize the highest degree awarded by the university. Yesterday, we held a formal draping ceremony for our PhD candidates, during which they received their academic hoods. Will the candidates for doctoral degrees from the Graduate School of Arts and Social Sciences please come forward?
Dr. Marav Berger. Dr. Karina Brown. Dr. Iman Kell. Dr. Christina Lee. Dr. Mary Ellen Mahar. Dr. Siobhan Stewart. Dr. Leanne Till.
Congrats. Dr. Kimberly A. Cherry. Congratulations. Dr. Maisha Renee Rodriguez. Congrats. Dr. Carla R. Rosinski.
Will Interim Associate Dean, Dr. Stephanie Spadosha, come forward to present the doctoral candidates for the degrees from the Lesley Graduate School of Education.
Chair Strzok, President Steinmeier, I have the honor to present to you the candidates for the degrees from the Graduate School of Education. We first present diplomas to the PhD candidates to recognize the highest degree awarded by the university. Yesterday, we held a formal draping ceremony for our PhD candidates, during which they received their academic goods. Will the candidates for doctoral degrees from the School of Education please come forward?
Dr. Michelle L. Adario. Dr. Kimberly M. Joyce Bernard. Dr. Kevin David Linton. Dr. Terrence F. Lynn. Dr. Jennifer Attess Herring.
We will now recognize candidates for Certificate of Advanced Graduate Studies, master's degrees, and dual degrees of bachelor and master's from the Graduate School of Arts and Social Sciences. Through their passion and commitment, these candidates have honed their skills to become leaders in their communities and around the world as talented therapists and practitioners, inspirational writers, international higher education and intercultural relations specialists, and creative lifelong learners dedicated to reinforcing the relationship between the person and the local, national, and global community. These candidates leave these festivities today ready to continue the Lesley legacy. Will the candidates for the dual degree of bachelor's and master's please come forward?
Renee Alien. Juliana L. Dharmafal. Lisa Ariel Camacho. Congrats. Bailey A. Fairhurst. Daniela Colozo. Alexis Christine Bilchik. Kimberly R. Parker. Rosemary P. Lape. Brooke S. Seco. Sophia Rose McLaughlin. Rosellen L. Boucher. Ashlyn M. O'Dowd.
Will the candidates for the certificates of advanced graduate study and master's degrees please come forward?
Chie Mutsi.
Haley Lansing.
Ilham Henrik Richter.
Wan Su Kang.
Thomas Baird.
Allison Resendiz.
Albert B. Myers IV.
Claire Mackay Miller.
Brea Monet Dubose.
Sue Ho Park.
Kimberly Megan Lisa Campbell.
Margaret Lucas.
Christina Lina Pereira.
Kendra Denny Airy.
Amanda Eileen Ouimet.
Catherine McAdams.
Lori A. Reeves. Destiny Shader.
Erin M.L. Little.
Destiny Shader.
Silvina Ibanez.
Jenna Ann Tremblay.
Olivia Rose Reyes.
Catherine Coolidge.
Amy Lee Bing N.
Lillian Catherine Gray.
Cheryl Denise Ratliff.
Sarah Ann Sakala.
Laura Marie Williams.
Amanda Basham.
Sarah Catherine Robinson.
Allison Whiteside Pollard.
Anna Coleman.
Isabella Liederbach.
Shelby Davis.
Pamela Christine Kyra.
Sarah J. Hood.
J. Bin Clear.
Madeline Domininsky.
Taylor Storley.
Sarah Eleanor Harmer.
Mary Caroline Rockwood.
Rebecca Coates Fink.
Maria Newell.
Mary Kate Shelley.
Melissa Lorraine Briggs.
Audrey Ellen Coldis.
Heather Lee Powers.
Dee Flatus.
Diane Ruth Davis.
Gia Antonia Diamontis.
Brittany Matralas.
Catherine Angelica Crete.
Ivy Indigo Kuhn.
Margaret Mary Tiano.
Kari Green.
Morgan Rose Pimentel.
Fernando Greco Quintel.
Emma Doherty.
Olivia Naya.
Maria Catalina Ticona Carbajo.
Juliana Santos Pagan.
Kayla Marie Fraser.
Nicole Kuntz.
R. Dallas Newton III.
McKenna Lynn Allred.
Diane Lynn Pemberton.
Nina Chim.
Deborah Adams Murray.
Jenna L. Desmond.
Ann Alyssa Russman.
Regina Marie Sayers.
Farah Khalid Saheed.
Morgan L. Johnston.
Holly Inman.
Nora Woofenden.
Rico Nakae Ward.
Shari G. Hallis.
Sue Yu Lin.
Kensa Scotty Indy Nazaire.
Amanda Christine McKernan.
Gabrielle Costa.
Buneshte Hakumaneshi.
Ruta Pai.
Cassidy Bingham.
Harsheta Bhargav.
Ashita Desore.
K. Young Park.
Cristal Garcia.
Catherine M. Stahl.
Tiffany Crockett.
Norwata Budi.
Lauren Julia Pratt.
Jamie L. Isaac.
Megan McElroy.
Emily Julia Generazzo.
Robbie Ald.
Nicole Christine Peterson.
Miranda Sass.
Nora Emily Jordan.
Kirsten Brady.
Evan Lee Summersup.
Kendra Lee Grant.
Larissa Deo Linda Feliciano.
Emily Ann Devlin.
Marilyn Lucille Lavoie.
Molly K. Cowan.
Jamie Delat.
Kathleen Angela L. Bautista.
Vanessa Renee Campbell.
Christopher James Thoman.
Sabrina Paglione.
Emily Rose Damore.
Christina Lynn Wyman.
Brianna Lambert Jenkins.
Angie Begay.
Gwendolyn Healy.
Lizette Pinto.
Danae Laura.
Celine Morneau.
Travis Chiempa.
Sean Postfort.
Savannah Nicole White.
Kayla C. Corsi.
Frances Helen Donahue Dumar.
Laura Nicole Newcomb.
Sarah E. Moore.
Lorraine Locke Hinson.
Zyra Owen Boylan.
Rebecca Erin Miller.
Sarah Gabriella Swedlow.
Caroline Marie Bryan.
Caitlin Johnston.
Mackenzie Ward.
Julianne Nicole Bliss.
Alexandra Zimmeray.
Amy Konetsky.
Virginia Ginny Maishanik Thomas.
Julianne Corey.
Jessica Gomes de Castro.
Jasmine Sakia Seeley Norvin.
Allison M. Reese.
Deborah Jean Hale.
Melody Couture Adler.
Leslie Hollinger Vernon.
Cecilia Rose Fiorello. Lisa Riggs Hobbs.
Amr El Isawi.
Jordan Philip Waters.
Tosh Subat Elsiga.
Catherine Joan Paracas.
Erica Graves.
Brianna Marie Resnick.
Christina Tremblay.
Joanna Rachel DeRosa.
Riley Ann Donovan.
Shelby Husky Jordan Lake.
Vanessa Marie Padilla.
Rachel Korback.
Rachel Nicole Holland. Ashley Ann Zimmer Larson. Madeline Gehrig Shelley. Andrea Marie Sepe. Alexandra Pauline Hayes. Tatiana Judith Miranda Orama. Taylor Elizabeth Saunders. Alina Zordson Lee. Madeline Ludke. Sarah Lewis Rasmussen. Brenna Ann Cole. Liza Julia Dennis. Meenakshi Shabra. Saracia Fennell. Carol Trainer Mayer. Kristen Kassim. Marissa Lynn Massaro. Tanvi Deepak Kulkarni. Alexis Reale. Alyssa Marie Cooperrider. Caroline Marie Carr. Ellery Mills. Ariel Dean Horton. Bethany Lynch. Nicole Strombos. Okay, cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. Teamwork.
We will now recognize candidates for master's degrees and certificates of advanced graduate study from the Graduate School of Education. They join thousands of educators across the globe with Lesley graduate degrees in education who serve the evolving needs of students and a diverse society with compassion and dedication. These graduates, by virtue of their profession as educators, are connected in a special way to the founding educational mission of Lesley more than 100 years ago. And they join all Lesley graduates in their efforts to extend quality educational opportunity to all members of society. Will the candidates for master's degrees and certificates of advanced graduate study please come forward?
Appreciate that. We went through them and there are some.
Hannah Kathleen McGrath.
Sarah McCrory.
Eleanor Wyant.
Mary Elizabeth Buckley.
Katie Taylor Park.
Julia Rose McCarthy.
Eugene Joe.
Amy Lyerly Gilbert.
Claire Rutz.
Lydia Cecilia Castro-Malaga.
Jessica Eagles.
Ronald K. Morgan Jr.
Christian Jameson.
Adila Ali Al-Yafi.
Megan M. Smith.
Jennifer I. Climaco.
Samantha La Dessert.
Madeline Viola Andrews.
Sarika Kul Sheresta.
Julia Strickler.
Chloe Elizabeth Dahlbeck Pittman.
Odie McCutcheon.
Charles Meyer.
Mackenzie Ann Sullivan.
Shaylon Miles.
Emily Alcantar.
Vanessa Natalia Pfeiffer.
Ian Hunter Jefferson.
Kelly Dowling.
Sue Sussman.
Jennifer Lynn McKenzie.
Patrick J. Holland.
Megri Darvartanian.
Angela Jeffers.
Megan Downing Daly.
Emma Carlton.
Mary Elizabeth McCarty.
Josephine Dugan.
Stephanie Y. McKay.
Jill Matson Smart.
Lindsay Nicole Scott.
Kristen Allison St. John.
Sarah Carolyn Quinn.
Heather Cohen.
Michael Joseph Tress.
Ruth A. Pollard.
Jamie Marie Jurgiel.
Jennifer Marie Dare.
Sarah Nicole Kassoff.
Hannah E. Perry.
Nadej Pascal Soli.
Sarah Thorne.
Chelsea Friedman.
Kaylin Velasquez.
Maura Donnelly.
Megan Emma Petrosillo.
Emily Rose Burke.
Cedric D'Angelo King.
Elaine Teresa Bannon.
Alexander Kyle Doig.
Elizabeth Landrigan Severe.
Oa Hisco Kloviski.
Katie Bug Beadle.
Rachel Brainerd.
Connor John Fitzpatrick.
Sarah Prophet Sherman.
Victoria E. Gibbs.
Sarah K. Benson.
Samantha Mia Hassett.
Alexa Polek Aaron.
Max A. Devon.
Eugene Marie Ocampo Florendo.
Julia Norcross.
Catherine Adelaide Downs.
Aaliyah Michelle Perkins Munley.
Patricia Robelard.
Catherine Denise Burrows.
Monique Rosiva Meeks.
Kara Cynthia Danis.
Reynolds Allen Comita.
Leela Clausen Miller.
Hasina Connolly Espenhain.
Hadassah Lipnick.
Lena Marin Karatkin.
Alana Erickson Kepler.
Kylie Elizabeth Shoemaker.
Elizabeth Grace Saroof.
Rachel Marissa Kraus.
Sarah Elizabeth Goodman.
Tanya Noel McCord.
Tanya Stovania Johnson.
Alexandria Suspiro Carrero.
Catherine Mathisen.
Caitlin Ann Parkinson.
Teresa Rose Castro.
Yuri Devin Rahendra Singh.
Isabel Victoria Justo Ward.
Elizabeth Louise McCormick.
John Kelly Walton.
Sandra Lee Berry.
Jacqueline W. Sweeney.
Madeline Brinkley Carter.
Naomi Barrow Fagin.
Araz Haven.
Kiera Duggan.
Catherine Ann Block.
Kayla Nicole Flaherty.
Sarah Ashley Cuthbertson.
Devin Alyssa DiMartino.
Jenny Marie Alexandra.
Michaela Ann Smith.
Paige Farias.
Jessica O. Young.
Alyssa Mary Collins.
Madison N. Collins. Ariel K. Dwyer.
Dulcinea Fatima Nunez.
Emma Louise Shea.
Heidi Elise Rodriguez.
Stephanie Correa. Ruth M. Saladi.
Karina Reyes.
Ryan Michael Smith.
Jasmine Dalima Schultz.
Meredith Suter Wright.
Mariana Fernandez del Castillo.
Morgan Stromberg.
Jordan A. Hill.
Esther Rika Mihailovich.
Stephen Murray.
Clarabelle Mena Sousa.
Emerald F. Petit Fier.
Larissa Bernardi Latham.
Dakota Alexandria Blaise.
Ariel Burgos.
Emily Margot Gallowitz.
Nicole Corno.
Christina M. Armstrong.
Victoria Sears Cabot. Nadesh D. Diokote. Emily Sear. Jacqueline Duffy. Kenzie Hazel Moni. Julissa Cabrera. Shawnette Severs. Kristen L. Aid. Celia Sherry Watson. Casey Mullane. Arena Whitney. Michaela Catherine Swift. Medea Coleman. Shiting Gao. Lingxing Wang. Emily Brianna Crow. Amy Lee Maldonado. Francis De Leon. Susan Smith. Rachel Charlotte Stutman. Gwyneth K. Davies. Margaret Grace Clayton. Patricia A. Smith. Melissa Marie Constantine. Chris Stoddard Dale. Alexander Geneva. Lucas Ahrens. Cynthia Epstein. Sophia Epstein.
I ask that all guests remain in their seats following the conferral of degrees so that the stage party, our faculty, and our new graduates will have the opportunity to march out of the pavilion. Are you ready? Will candidates for all degrees please rise? I certify that all these students have fully complied with the regulations prescribed by our faculty and that they have, by examination or performance, demonstrated thoroughness of their work. On behalf of the faculty, I present these candidates to you so that they receive degree. All right. On behalf of the faculty, I present these candidates to you so that these degrees may be granted.
Today, Lesley University awards nearly 1,300 degrees to 2022 graduates, and we also recognize the 2,500 degrees conferred in 2020 and 2021. We wish for each of you the satisfaction, strength, and resolve that comes from such an achievement. All of you join the rich legacy of Lesley alumni who bring to the workplace and the world compassion, competence, dedication, and a commitment to strengthening the human condition. And so, by the authority granted to me by the Lesley University Board of Trustees and with the approval of the Lesley faculty, I award to each of you your respective degree with all the rights, privileges, opportunities, and responsibilities it offers you as an educated citizen of the global community. Congratulations.